Hello! Yesterday I went to a cacao degustation de cacao. So we tried, it's a friends of the man that lives at the Airbnb where I am. It's a really good friend of his, and he has a little store from where he makes his bean to bar chocolates to try very many different types of chocolates. It was really delicious, and I'm very grateful to have had that experience. So he's got like 3 or 4 different types of cacao that he gets from the Chiapas jungle or forest, and we tried like the seeds themselves, and all of them were such a different flavor. And so he mixes all of them up and to try to get the same like flavor profile depending on how it tastes after the fermentation. And he makes some hot chocolate mixes, 100% cacao, one of them, and then the other ones are more like 60% cacao and 40% sugar and have different flavors. Sorry, my mind is like Spanish, French, English, French, Spanish, English, so it's a little jumbled in there. yes, so some of the flavors, let's say there was cardamom, pimiento, calabacin, so like pumpkin spice. That one was so good. And a few other ones that I don't remember. And then he had a bunch of different flavors of chocolate bars as well. Like he had a 100% cacao one. And there were flavors that I had never heard of or had never tried before that are very typical Mexican, like hoja santa, which is a herb that they use when they have like stomach cramps or stomach problems. Yeah, it has a very unique taste. Like the aftertaste was anise, which is not, it's like one of the tastes that I do not enjoy is that, but you know, I suffered the consequences with the chocolate. Poor me. Yeah, so it had an aftertaste of anise. Like I bought one here, achiote, pimienta y vainilla. That one, achiote, is it's like a tiny little red seed, and when you rub it, like it's orange, like reddish orange, and you can dye fabric with it. And I guess when you dye your fabric with it, like it's really like bright orange. And the achiote, pimiento y vainilla, that one, yes, so it tasted like Christmas flavors that you would associate with Christmas a little bit. So it had a little bit of an aftertaste of cloves and like star anise a little bit, and like a little bit like cinnamon as well. It's very interesting. And then there was one which is paxate. They call it the cousin of chocolate. It's like, it looks like a white chocolate, and then after you toast it, I think that's what he said, like it has the consistency of like a nut. To me, the texture was the same as a Brazil nut, but with an aftertaste of like the cacao seed. And then he had also, which I found interesting and was one of my favorite ones, the shell, the coffee seed shell, that you toast it, and then he added it to the chocolate. I had never tasted like coffee and chocolate like that before. It was very particular. The other one was sal de gusano. So gusano is like a little worm, and then they dry it and pound it into a powder. Oh my goodness, languages are hard. So they pound it into a powder, and then they mix it with salt and a bit of lime. And I learned, when you see cacao mass on the ingredients of a chocolate bar, it's just like the leftovers of after they expel or press like the cacao seeds. So like it's a similar process as, let's say, like olive oil. To make olive oil, you like press the olives and then you extract the oil, and then you're left with like the seeds and some of the pulp. And I mean, I'm guessing that they just discard that for olive oil. But then for cacao / chocolate, after they express the oil out of the seed, you're left with the cacao mass. So just basically it's just this shell of the cacao without any of the fat. So it's not like real chocolate. And then that's why they add like palm oil and like coconut oil or whatever other oils that they would add to your chocolate bar, because there's no like oil left to the seed afterwards. And obviously they'll add sugar and whatever and milk products, just so that it becomes cheaper, and it's just a cheap product that isn't really, it's not really cacao or chocolate, it's just the leftovers. It's just interesting, you know, to me. I hope it interests you as well. He also makes a 50% bar which he sweetens with dulce de leche. So there's a lady up the road from him that makes dulce de leche, and then he dehydrates it, makes a powder out of it, and then adds it to his chocolate bar. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Like dulce de leche, like all-time favorite things in the whole wide world. It's one of those things that I could just eat by the spoon. Well, it is one of those things that I used to eat by the spoonful, and now that's why I eat alfajores all the time and anything dulce de leche flavored. When I used to live in Argentina, that was the only ice cream flavor that I was that I would order. So we went to Comal again. If ever you find yourself in San Cristobal, like really you need to go there. It's very simple food, but it's very flavorful and it's very healthy. And he always changes the toppings. There's always a vegetarian option and a meat option. And last night was mole con pollo and nopal con maíz, so cactus and corn. The black bean soup is also, I don't know what he does, but it's really good. It's the most, yeah, like usually I'm not like, oh, I'll order soup at the restaurant, but this soup, highly recommend. And he does a cinnamon tea as well. That's, I also don't know what he does to that, but it's magic. Well, maybe I'll ask him what he does next time I go. This evening I'm going with Reina, the owner of the house, to buy some chiles because tomorrow we are making mole from scratch. It's very exciting. Ben is also very excited. He told me this morning that it was his dream to learn how to make homemade mole. So we shall make that dream happen for him. I will leave it there before the chocolate melts and I get sad. Okay, bye. Drinking coffee with clove, cinnamon, and orange peel. So good, especially on a cold day like today. It is warming the soul.